Good morning. It's September 12th, 2016. Uh, it is Monday, and I know for um, arguably a majority of the workforce, it's probably one of the toughest days of the week, only because you got to get yourself back into work mode after a long weekend. And I think the football season started, and so for many of us Americans, it's important to stay up and up when it comes to football. Um, our culture is pretty passionate about that sport. Anyways, I uh, I just wanted to check in good faith, like I've said many times before. I don't have too many interesting things to say, but things that I wish to share. And if it's interesting or insightful or even inspiring to even just one person, that's more satisfaction that I can get, that I can gain than I perhaps can ask for. Um, Anyways, just want to share thoughts, kind of like, in the words of, I think, Neil deGrasse Tyson, one of my favorite, I'm going to call him a comedian physicist, astrophysicist. Um, brain droppings, or also George Carlin. If you're a grown up, you like comedy, you probably know about George Carlin. Brain droppings. So here, it's all just kind of spewing out, kind of plopping out. But I do like to begin my day with listening to like YouTube videos of things Les Brown has said. Some of you who've seen my videos probably like, what's Mr. S? What is all this inspiration stuff? So I just wanted to share my thoughts because you need to evolve. You need to take on the challenge to be a better version of yourself each and every day. I think that's important. I don't know if I'm doing a good job of it, but if this can help someone down the line, just kind of take a step back and say, you know, who am I? Why am I here? How can I serve or contribute to making this a better world? And what can I do to make this a worthwhile, make this time on Earth, the only life that I know, the only life that we know, for sure, I think, make it worthwhile. So Joe Rogan, who's also, a comedian, a TV personality, very well known in the world of the UFC and MMA, also has shared a lot of thoughts as far as motivation, inspiration, doing things that you and your heart believe are worth doing. And I'm documenting this because if I decide to take my life in a different direction, I hope to be a living example of why people like Joe Rogan were right. And they said a few basic things that we in our heart know. So I'm not trying to be a motivational speaker or a guru of sort, acting like I know. I'm offering something that's new. This is stuff that I think we all know is true in our hearts, but we need to remind ourselves of it every day, especially as we grow older. I feel young, but life and time, it keeps on ticking. And the world's not going to wait for you. So the reason why I say that is because typically I'm like lesson planning right now. I'm like pounding my head on my, like not really pounding my head on the desk, but just kind of really just grinding it out and trying to get lesson planning done, which I do. But at a certain point, how much of your time and energy and life is going to be consumed by your job? And what Les Brown and Joe Rogan are who. So if you ever need something to kind of get you going, kind of give you the motivation to at least get started, and to try to make each moment of the day worth living, basically, because that's all you have really is time. I would encourage people to take the time to pay attention to those things that inspire them and motivate them. Anyways, I realize that I'm jumping around as far as my thought process goes, but like I said, brain droppings. Um, but yeah, people like Joe Rogan reminded me that take care of yourself. Of course, take good care of yourself. Be as It is impossible, in my opinion, to be 100% pleasant to every single human being around, but I think there's much value in our spirit, or and you feel that it's a good thing to be kind to as many people as possible. But at the same time, I'd like to add to that: be genuine, authentic, and fearless about, and sincere, um, while being as kind as possible to as many people as possible. I think that that's important. And he also said, and something I think we don't take seriously enough in our lifetimes, and we're lucky to be able to even think about our options, really, in this day and age. 100 years ago, it was all about survival, getting a job, supporting your family, and getting to the finish line, not starving, right? Even in, like, at the dawn of the Industrial Revolution. But now, we have options. We can actually ask ourselves, what is it that I want to do? What is it that's interesting? What is worth investing my time and energy into? So I still think about other things beyond teaching. I love working with the kids, and I think that it continues to be one of the most valuable experiences of my life, and I believe that somehow that makes you a better person. But beyond that, I still have this on the brain. I don't know if I'm good at it. That's all subjective, but it's something that I think about, and I don't want to take it to the grave, or I'm making this public now. I don't want to, be on my quote unquote deathbed and regret not doing any of this and creating at the highest quality, most genuine, authentic product that I could. If you've seen my other video logs, you see me playing around, but that stuff's real. And also acting. So I'm putting it out there too. I think that's something that I really want to do. Whether it's anything that involves acting, and film. I'm not a connoisseur, but based on my experience, it's something that I really enjoy doing. So right now I'm gonna, well, I gotta hit the road, but I wanted to just kind of share that with you and let you know that, there's my hope in sharing this with you is I hold myself accountable, so that next time I check in with you, I can actually say, I sat down, I made time for myself to do, these creative things that I think about every day, and to not look for any more excuses. So you basically are holding me accountable, but my hope is that if there's even just a nugget of wisdom that can help you really think about how to make your life worth living too, I think that's more than I can ask for. And if you have any ideas, any thoughts, any videos that you think I should listen to, that, in some way, in virtual space, kind of create like partnerships or like community of sorts, where we can help each other grow and be better people, even if you're on the other side of the world, even if there's a geographic or cultural or language barrier, if there's some way we can enrich each other's lives, I think it's worth doing, even if it's just a YouTube video upload. Okay? All right, so thanks for joining me. I hope this made sense, but I think it's nice to kind of change things up a little bit and to think more deeply about what I believe are oft overlooked realities of our human condition, and but things that in your heart are important to think about. Okay, so thanks for joining me again. I know it was a bit of a ramble. It was 10 minutes of rambling, but I do appreciate the fact that you gave me this much